Welcome to On the Floor. I'm David Locke. Wait, where'd Ron Boone go? Oh, Ron Boone's talking to John Lucas, but I want you to get to watch James Harden warm up. So we'll give you the James Harden warm up. Here he is. Here's Ron Boone. Hey, there's Joe Ingles. There's Ron Boone. Say hi.
Hey guys, I'm here.
I wanted to make sure we got the James Harden warm up beforehand. Joe Ingles is mad because we weren't watching him. There's the step back. He hasn't done his running shot recently.
You know what? I remember we talked about that over the summer.
Yeah.
I texted, I said, boy, he's got a new weapon, and everyone's claiming for that step back jumper. So he's got a new weapon, and he hasn't used it that much. Of course, no one's ever been able to stop the step back.
All right, so I want to let one of our listeners complained that we were too short with yesterday's On the Floor show, and I want to tip a hat to them. We were shorter than usual, and we appreciate your listening. A bunch of you guys have tweeted me recently about this show, and I super appreciate you doing so. We do this show and love the fact that a bunch of you guys make the time to tune in and grab it, so thank you very much for that. Joe Ingles is talking to Steve Smith instead. And Donovan over here playing with the ball in his hand so much more than he used to, so he's not getting the ball rotation catch and shoot three, so his numbers are going to be dictated by that off the bounce three. He was not good with it early in the year. He got very good with it, and it's off again right now.
Then that's become a very important part of his game, and probably the success of the basketball team there as well. I mean, we know we've watched him work out. We watch it even like right now. We watch him work on those things. You go into slumps like that, you just have to keep working at it, and you're going to have a good game, and all of a sudden it's back. But that's become a very important part of his game. Why has it? Because he's such uncontested, wide open three-point shooter that he needed something else in his arsenal.
And so that's become a large part of his game. Let's take a quick walk here. Say hi to the Jazz fans, Memo.
How you doing, guys?
There it is, Memo and his wonderful family. This is his cute daughter and son. See, welcome back to town. You guys skiing while you're here?
We're here for a good games, and also I'm going to take a partially for snowboard.
All right. When are you skiing?
I'm not messing with that. Think about it. If I hit the ground from the long way to hit the ground,
It's the only sport in the world where short guys have an advantage.
yes, and I'll be on the side and watch them doing it.
Good to see you, everybody. All right. I had to stop by and say hi to Memo. I had to go see Memo. Frank Layden here, Barbara Layden here, Memo here, all sorts of people.
2 games in a row with Frank. Frank was
Yeah.
last night as well.
So this, I thought Mike D'Antoni, we always try to share with you guys what's going on. Eric Gordon's going to play, who's behind us right now. We don't have a great angle because our security guys are. So also, we'll watch Eric Gordon warm up. Super interesting before the game about Harden's in-play adjustments, right? Coaches make in-game adjustments. Harden makes an adjustment on plays by moving people around and things of that nature. And what he said that I thought was most interesting was the idea that Harden wants the game still. That the isolation game that they've built and lack of movement is because Harden wants it that way so he can see and manipulate the floor.
Yeah, and that makes so much sense with a guy that, as scrappy as he is off the dribble, if he knows and sees where the double is coming from, where the help is coming from, then he knows, how to get guys to basketball. So that tells me a couple of things, though, that he's very much in control of his game to the point where he can, where it benefits him and the team. But it also tells me, and maybe I'm wrong with this, is that if guys aren't still, he doesn't make quick adjustments to get them the basketball, or I don't know, but I'd have to watch him or be an assistant coach or something like that to see what effect that has.
Well, it's interesting. It's almost as though if he doesn't know, it kind of makes me almost this is maybe a bad analogy, but I remember when Alec Burks was young, and some of his teammates said to me, it's very hard to play with him because if he doesn't know where he's going, then I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
Right.
And I think he might feel that way about player movement. If other guys are running cuts and moving and back and doing all these things, And he's so precise that if he doesn't know where they're going, then how does he know where he's supposed to go?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, and you can. D'Antoni has it figured out that he just puts guys in certain spots and keep them there and let Harden do his thing.
The matchup,
it's working for him, that's for sure.
All right, the matchup, their offensive rating's at 124 when he's on the floor since the trade, which is just astronomical. The thing that was interesting last game was some of the in-game adjustments, and Westbrook's being guarded by Gobert, and then they put a pick on Gobert at the about 8 feet out from the basket, and suddenly Westbrook's driving in that realm. I mean, there's so many interesting little tricks that took place between two of the best coaches in the league, in Quinn Snyder and Mike D'Antoni, and two coaches who have gone up against each other more than, I actually looked this up, more than any two coaches in the league. They've coached in the last 2 years. They've coached against each other more. They're the only ones who've played 2 playoff series and played 4 games in the regular season.
That is playoff type atmosphere between these two guys. So anytime you're playing the Houston Rockets, there's all kind of adjustments you're going to have to make during the course of a game. And with the Jazz, Quinn Snyder is very creative, and so there's a lot of adjustments you're going to have to make when you play the Utah Jazz. And so you can see why that's is a concern, I think, with both teams, making those adjustments from on the fly. Now, that last ball game, when you were just talking about Rudy, with them setting a pick on Rudy 8 feet away from the basket, from what I was told, that was a mistake. Rudy was not supposed to be that high.
He was supposed to be lower than 8 feet.
Lower than 8 feet, exactly.
So that pick's now going to come at the 4-foot mark. It will be interesting to see how that plays. The other one on the other side is that their whole entire defensive game plan is as much taking away Rudy as anyone else.
Isn't that fascinating?
I mean, Rudy's only taken 4 shots in one game and 5 in the other, I believe, in the 2 games against these guys. So they are not letting Rudy get shots.
Well, at the rim, they know how effective Rudy is at the rim. And so if they take that away from him, they figure that, what else does Rudy have offensively? What does he do?
All right, hopefully we've given you an adequate show for you today. A lot of information, a lot of stuff, fun matchup. Another Jazz great in the house. Mark Eaton is here. So a lot of people here for the weekend.